once again, please, you are the educated section of society. You lawyers are, believe me, the cream of society. I want, before I close in the next 5 minutes, I wish to introduce you to the first lawyer of history. Does anyone know? Please tell me. You don't know. How do you want to become lawyers? You must know the first lawyer of history. The first lawyer of history, my friend, was a man called Daniel. His story is located in ancient Babylon. It is a part of a biblical story of Daniel and Susanna. Babylon was ruled by 4 old men, as was the habit in those days. 4 old men, they ruled this country. And the old men of those days were no better than the old men of today. They suffered from the same weaknesses. And these 4 old men each cast a lecherous glance at this beautiful woman called Susanna living in that country. They seduced her, they tried to seduce her. But the virtue of the woman was stronger than the solicitations of these old men. She resisted, and these 4 old men brought a false case against her. False case of adultery with a young man unknown. They were the accusers, they were the judges, they were the rulers, they were the witnesses. The poor Susanna was found guilty and sentenced to be stoned to death. A crowd has collected, says the Bible, to witness the execution of this woman. And when the crowd was waiting to see the execution, there was a young man called Daniel who got up from the crowd. He got up and said, I don't believe that this woman is guilty at all. So the crowd was not impressed by his wisdom, but they surely were impressed by his bravado. So there is a young man, but what do you want? He said, I want to ask some questions from these old men. Crowd said, all right, we'll give you. But he said, I want to. He acted quietly like a lawyer of today. You know, today when a lawyer goes to court, he insists that all other witnesses on the same point should be kept away from court, and they should not hear what he is asking one witness, so that they come ready with answers next time. So therefore they said, all right. So he asked, the poor fellow was not a trained lawyer, but he was high up in his spirits. He asked the first old man, then where did you see this adultery being committed? He said, I saw it in the royal palace. Where? Then he named some section of the royal palace. The second old man was asked the same question. Oh, he says, sir, it took place on the river bank. The third says, oh, no, sir, it took place high up in some tower. All 4 gave conflicting replies, and the Bible records that the crowd which had come to witness the execution of this poor woman was now howling for the blood of these 4 old men. My lawyer friends, please, first of all, pick up the qualities of bravery and courage from this first lawyer of history. He was the first lawyer of history who fought to establish innocence, who fought free without a fee. And that underscores that you shall not deny your services to anybody you cannot pay your fees. I am very proud to tell you a fact which practically every judge knows and every member of the bar knows. I earn money at the bar, but I earn it from 10% of my clients. My 90% work is still free work. And a lawyer has to give free services to anyone who cannot afford to pay his fees. That is his moral and professional duty, now highlighted by rules framed by the Bar Council of India, when I was the chairman of the Bar Council of India for 4 terms. All these rules, I have got them framed, and today rendering free legal service is a statutory obligation under the Advocates Act of every lawyer, but those lawyers don't discharge their duties properly. And I hope you youngsters will do that.